starting seated, find that comfortable position. So what is it for you today? You could even be seated in a chair, right? It's really your comfort levels. So I'm actually coming up, I'm up on a couple of thick foam pads, which I love. And so I can kind of drop my knees forward, which allows my pelvis, the upper part of my pelvis, to kind of broaden, which allows my low back to feel more elongated. And that's what we want. So find yourself in whatever position will kind of get you to that feeling. And some people can sit completely flat on the floor, no big deal. But oftentimes, especially if this is one of the first things you're doing today, you need a little bit of a lift. Okay, so let's take our palms together and take a big inhale. And as you exhale, clasp and press those palms open. And then on the inhale, reach them up really tall. That looks good. And as you exhale, reach them way out and then behind. Clasp if you can. And on an inhale, being gentle, open up that upper chest, that front of your neck, and release. And let's do that again. Palms together, take an inhale. And as you exhale, clasp and press forward. So you're kind of rounding the upper back here. And then on the inhale, as you reach your arms up, you're really reaching the palms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale and press them really hard towards the sides. Come behind you. Inhale, open. Hold your breath a moment. And then exhale, release. And let's do that one more time. Circle of joy. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, press forward, really lengthen. And then inhale, reach up really high, side body. Exhale, push out to the sides, clasp behind, and take that inhale and really open up that whole chest area. And then let that go. That feels so good. It's such a nice way to start our day. Then we're going to take all of our fingers and just kind of put all the tips together, okay? And put them lightly on your shoulders. So my elbows are out, okay? And I'm trying to stay seated as tall as I can. I'm going to take an inhale to center and exhale to the right. Inhale to center and exhale to the left. So continue on your own. So it's a deep inhale to the front, and as you exhale, blow it all out. Stay as tall as you can. Keep your eyes open and let them follow so that your head moves along with this. And we have just two more. And then let that go. Take palms upwards on your lap, relax your fingers, close your eyes for a moment. So we're going to do a variety of things today to kind of clean out the lungs and continue with that process of opening into the springtime, which is just happening for some people around the country. And many of us are moving towards summer already. So let's take our left fingertips down, or your palm, it's up to you. And on an inhale, reach up that right arm as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, take it over to your left. And then inhale, right arm up, left arm up. And as you exhale, come over to the other side. And once again, that inhale reaches up those arms. All of that length as you exhale comes to the side. And so now continue on your own. We're going to do about 4 more. Just feel that sense of inhaling and then fully exhaling each time. So the exhale is what brings us into the depth of a pose. And we're going to take one more time here. Then come back to center. Both palms are forward. Inhale, reach them up. Last one. And let that go. Let's just drop the chin and very gently roll your head towards your right shoulder. And then drop the chin forward and very gently roll it towards the left. And let's do that one more set. So being gentle with the neck here, but finding a nice stretch. And then come back to center. Let's take our fingertips behind us and reach out those legs. So I have my toe correctors on again, my pink ones. They're so cool. I had ordered a bunch several months ago, and black ones came, and pink and blue and flesh color and clear. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't really try to order all those, but they're pretty cool. And then feet bottoms flat. So I'm coming off my lift. You decide if you are, okay? And I'm going to put my feet nice and wide and begin windshield wipers. So as you do this, just kind of check in with how your knees are feeling, how your hips are feeling. Can you keep your torso facing forward? And don't overly push, but just notice what's the level of juiciness in your hip joints, in your ankles, in your knees, and in your spine. And then come back to center, and feet come a little more forward, a little more closer to each other, hands just under those knees. As you exhale, round back, stretch the elbows. And then as you inhale, belly, chest, throat. Exhale, round back. And again, inhale, belly, chest, throat. Really find that undulation of the spine. Do 2 more times. And we're coming into our last time here. Hold it forward. Do your best. So my elbows are to the sides of my body, pulling, and I'm reaching the upper chest and the throat. And then round it back and hold here. And you can take sips of breath here. Your elbows are straight. Your chin is tucked right to your chest. And then come back up. Oh yeah. All right. So we're going to do like we did last week, where we're going to drop the left knee down out to the side, and then the right knee down with the left foot touching the right knee if you can, okay? And you're gonna turn your torso over your left knee, so dolphin diving. Remember, your right hip does not have to be on the floor. Mine is up, okay? So here we go. As you exhale, round and skim your nose to your knee, and inhale, reach up. So really try to work with the deep undulation of the spine. We really get stuck in these areas. And continue here just several times. And we have 2 more. And here comes that last one. And then lifting up, so you're kind of lengthening over that leg. I'm on fingertips. Hold here, breathing. So you could stay here or come right over that knee and try to rest the chest right down over that leg. You could stack fists for your forehead or put your forehead all the way down. Breathing deeply here. This is a very safe stretch for the hip. And then come back up. Okay, we're going to lean into the left palm. Okay, right hand, right hip, and lift. See if you can lift your right knee and your right foot. Okay, you can always put it right back down or follow me and straighten and bend and straighten and bend. So I'm really leaning into my left arm. Now, if you can, reach your arm up. Your right arm. Reach it up. Try to spread those toes. We have just 2 more here. Now, hold it out and release. Let's just take a moment with that. We're not done on this side though. We're going to come back to left palm down, straighten out the right leg, okay? And then come up on your left knee. So if you have to have a peek and move that leg to make it comfortable, and then open up into that half circle. Nice big opening here. So some of you like to right away launch that right leg up. And if you want to, go ahead. Opening that chest, really reaching through the arms. And then come down and let's come back to feet forward, feet nice and wide, and do a few windshield wipers. So starting today seated to have more grounding. It's been so windy. And oftentimes, right, springtime is the windy time. And then drop your right knee down, follow with the left. Do your best to find your place of comfort and prepare here for dolphin diving. Here we go. So when it gets really windy, we can feel scattered and our nervous systems can feel really wiped out. It's kind of interesting. In Ayurveda, they call that the vata, the place of air and space where you can feel really kind of nervous or also tired. And now last one, and come up and you're leaning over that leg and then decide what you're going to do on this side. So I'm coming all the way down, but I do this often to really open my hips. Also, this is a really nice way to just breathe into the torso and to ground the body. Okay, so it's good for the windy season. And then come back up. And we're going to lean into the right palm, left hand, left hip. And here we go. Can you lift that leg? You don't have to, but give it a try and see. And then if you want to follow me, straighten and bend. That looks good. I see several people doing it. Great. Straighten and bend. When our palms touch the earth, that's so grounding for the whole body, for the psyche. And let's do 2 more and reach up that arm if you can and hold it out. Oh yeah. And bring it back down. That side for me was harder to do. Okay, so I'm going to place my right palm down a bit away from the body. And then I'm going to come up onto that right knee and extend out the left leg. So you can keep it down on the floor as you reach the left arm up. So this is an awesome half circle pose, or lift up that leg and hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. Bone density, upper body. People hardly ever talk about that. And release and come back forward and recross your legs. Okay, see if you can find a bit of comfort. Once again, use the lift if you want. And let's take our palms together. Just a little intro there, a little body awareness, a body awakening. And we'll take an inhale and reach those arms up. And again, inhale. And one more time. A moment of gratitude. There's so much to be grateful for, so much. I have so much gratitude right now for just getting to wake up another day to figure out a way I can help others out into the world. And then let's take those fingers behind us again, roll those shoulders back, and reach out those legs again. And this time, can you reach them a little more to the side? Can you push the heel out? That's important. Yeah, really pushing the heel, and then feet flat. So I'm going to turn sideways in case you need to have a peek. And in a moment, we're getting ready to go into our first boat pose. You can set it up any way you want. Enter that pose. We know it can be intense, right? It's definitely really working on waking up the third chakra, okay? The chakra of our empowerment. Our land of lustrous gemstones is what it's called. And release. Just letting that head go. Then come back upright. Move the right heel in, extend out the left leg, immediately activate it, and move yourself to a right rotation. Okay, so find that rotation for you. We do this one often because it's so really healthy for the spine. You can use your right fingers behind you to push down and really lift up that torso. Or if you want to, you can take that hand along your low back behind you to really work deeper into your belly muscles. And then unwind. I'm going to turn it a diagonal in case you have to see. And I'm going to get a hold of my foot. You could also get a hold of your ankle. And I'm going to lift that right leg part way only. So, because right here, you're trying to lift up your torso also, and then pull your shoulders back and down. From here, you can start to take little inches to maybe extend up a little bit more, to straighten a little bit more. Nice, easy breaths here. Some of you can even tuck your chin and bring your forehead to your knee. And then release. Woohoo. But we're going to release this foot over the left knee, okay? And I'll turn totally facing you in case you need to see. And then we're going to walk the outer edge of that right foot back for our half cow pose. So I always get a hold of my butt cheeks and pull them back, which is really helpful for your hammies. And then clasp around that upper knee, shoulders roll back and down. Try to lift so tall here, so tall. Whole body is activated here. And if you want to, you could stay right here, which is such a good place to be, or with a straight spine, lean it over that leg. You could stay there. You could tuck your chin and bring your forehead down, or you could take your hands all the way to your ankle or foot and come a little deeper. Use those slow exhales here. And let's take one more time. And come back up, releasing those legs, releasing those knees, walking the ankles. All right, I'm going to turn in the other direction and we're going to move right into that boat pose. So boat pose, believe it or not, is an amazing pose for grounding the body because it brings a sense of stability and it brings a sense of clarity to our most important area here, this belly area. So holding here a little bit longer and release. Just rest your head, rest your shoulders, and then straighten out that right leg. Bring the left heel in. Try to sit up as tall as you can, and then move yourself right into that left turning rotation. And just notice, what is this side asking for? Always checking in, always checking in. And I'm often surprised at what my body asks for. You think you know intellectually, but you don't really. And just a few more breaths. What brings a sense of peace? What brings a sense of relaxation? And then come back out. Okay, get a hold of ankle or foot, take that leg halfway up, and then stabilize here. Really stabilize before you go any further. And then start to extend this leg further up, working to straighten the knee. Elbows out, maybe chin tucking, maybe forehead to knee. And coming back out and taking that foot over, okay? And working your way to that half cow pose. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This side for me is a little tighter this morning and I'm just observing it. Okay, and I'm going to clasp and take that clasp around that upper knee, that left knee, and then I lift my torso. Pull shoulders back and down so you feel so tall here. You could stay here. It's a great place, like I said, or lean forward. Maybe take those hands to the ankle or the foot. Try to settle your shoulders. Try to settle your elbows. The intensity of this pose is really in the legs and the hips. And come back up. And we'll take that leg out and release those knees. Okay, so we're working our way to Upavista Konasana. So we're going to open up. Okay, now if you are having a hard time with your low back or your hammies and you just tend to roll back, you could take a little edge of your mat or a partial piece of your blanket folded and get it under your hips a little. You could always keep these knees slightly bent as well. And I'm going to bring in my block, which is right here, to the front. Okay. And here we go. Let's start with our hands slightly behind us, kind of near the hips. And we're going to push them down to lift the torso. But feel a heaviness of your hips. Feel a heaviness of your sits bones dropping down. We're decompressing this body. Then with all of this length, and once again, you can choose to stay right here, but with all of this length, start to bring the hands forward, trying, we're going to go in steps here, trying to keep the spine pretty dang straight, but moving forward. Kneecaps are lifting up towards the ceiling. They're not dropping inwards. I've got my block. I'm taking it to the second level of it, and I'm resting my forearms on it and just breathing. My toes are coming towards my face. Oh yeah. Then start to walk your torso towards your left leg. Breathing here. If you can, dropping in a little deeper. Oh yeah. And then those of you that want to, rotating the chest open and the right arm coming up. And maybe the right arm coming over the side of the head, trying to find those toes of the left foot. We're going to take about 4 breaths here. So we're going to hold this a little longer. Even if you can't come down very far, really focus on the sides of the body doing the work here. And we have 1 more breath. And then inhale, part way up, rotate right over that left leg and see if you can come down a little deeper. And then keeping all the length of the torso, walk yourself back to center. If you're using a block, just notice. So for me, the block is too much now. I'm going to take it on its lowest end, and that actually feels pretty good. I'm checking in with my knees to make sure the kneecaps are still facing towards the ceiling. And actually, I'm not going to even use the block now. I just released a little more in my low back. And then start to take your torso over to the right. It might be a totally different chapter in your book. It certainly is for me. And so remember, we are honoring ourselves here today. I don't know where it became out of fashion to not honor yourself and to not take care by slowing down and enjoying the moments of life. And then start to rotate if you want to, lifting your left arm up, holding there, breathing, or advancing it over the side of the head. Once again, about 4 breaths here. But really, yes, people work hard, but also to take the time to release, to relax, to nourish, to just listen to the birds singing, right? To just take a moment of gratitude. Last breath. And then start to unrotate and come over that leg. This side, I'm having to be a little more careful. It's just not letting me in as deeply, but that's okay. And then bring your torso back over to the front and just see, did you get a little bit more length? Some of you can actually have your elbows down at this point and just hold your heavy head with your hands. Some of you can be deeper, some of you not, but it's all fine. And then come back up. Oh yeah. I'm going to carefully bend my knees and bring my legs in slowly. We want to always go slow on that one. Once in, I'm going to come right up to boat pose. Why? Because I want to strengthen this front of my body in order to support the flexibility I've just gained. A little bit longer. And relax. Just letting that head go. Just letting it go. Okay, before we go to the next step, we're going to take either a table pose or a reverse plank. Okay, it's your choice. We're going to hold one for about 4 breaths. So I'm going to go into my reverse plank. So whatever you're going to, take it now. Reach up that throat. Lightly contract your butt muscles. Open the chest. One more breath. And come back down. And again, rest forward. That can be very intense for people. Oh yeah. Okay, another great way, by the way, to open the lungs. So now, what we're going to do here is we're going to take our feet bottoms together. I had to think about it for a moment. And not bring them up really close to the body, but keep them away from the body so you have like a diamond-shaped space right here. And then put one forearm under, palm down, and the other one under, palm down. Now, it's very important that you're stabilizing the shoulder blades down the back. Hold your breathing. Some of you can take your palms right onto the tops of those feet, and you can lengthen your torso forward and drop your forehead. Kurma, Kurmasana. Kurma is the turtle. So we're in our little turtle shell. So on an inhale, lift just a little bit and reach the head forward. And then on the exhale, drop back in. And we're going to do that one more time. Inhale, lift, reach forward. Exhale, drop back in. Then if you want to join me, lean into your left arm and release your right arm and lift it up. Keep your chin slightly tucked as you open into this bit of a rotation. Kurmasana flow here. The turtles are so amazing, right? And they live a very long life. And then bring that hand back under, stabilize, and go to the other side, little bits at a time. This side for me is tighter, so I'm really making sure that I'm not hurting my neck. Use your torso to lean to the side. And then come back, bring those hands under. Now, I know there's some of you in class that can actually take these arms behind you along your low back. Sylvia, one of them. Some of you can do that. I cannot. I am limited to this part of the pose. Take 3 more breaths wherever you're at. And then carefully come out. We want to come out so carefully because that's a very deep stretch. Oh yeah. Once out, bring those feet in very close to your body now. Get a hold of each foot separately. And we're going to do that push-pull and try to find a balance. Try to lift your feet right off the mat. You can stay tiny like I'm showing right now, or I'm starting to expand it. I'm really pushing my feet into my hands to be able to lift them. You can keep legs together or you can widen them up, gaze up. It's okay if you fall back. We know it's just a little bit of a fall. Use your breath though. This is definitely belly and inner thigh work here. Then look down and slowly come back down. Feet bottoms together, Baddha Konasana, very classic pose. You can keep your feet away from your body, or some of you bring them way in, close to you, but make sure you feel okay. Now cup underneath both feet. And again, lift up really tall, super tall, so your elbows are straight. And as you're doing this, have the secondary awareness of softening your knees down towards the floor. Those that want to can take a forward bend here, or you can just stay nice and tall. I like both ways, but if you want to, you can take that forward bend. I don't go really deep because I want to be very mindful of my low back. And then carefully come back out, release, bring those feet and knees together. Okay, so they're together, they're in front of me. I'm going to lean back a little bit, and then I'm just going to do some rocking side to side. So when you rock to one side, one of the feet comes off, right? And you're just keeping feet and knees together. Some of you can actually put those knees right down to the floor. You don't have to. Just a couple more. We're actually correcting the low back and the sacrum, and then come back to center. Woo, that felt really good. And we have another table pose or reverse plank on the menu. Okay, we're tasting our poses. Here we go. Open up, breathe here. And come back down. Let's rest for just a moment here. Okay, just a moment resting. We're still going to stay low to the floor for a little bit longer. We're going to look for our long elastics or yoga strap. We're going to put that around both feet and then widen your feet apart about 6 inches. Okay, so if you've got the strap, it's going to limit you a little bit, but it's still going to help promote bone density. If you've got the elastic, it's going to work on toning a lot more areas of your body. Okay, so my knees are bent. I'm holding on to this strap. I'm turning palms upward, shoulders back and down. Okay, so if you need to have a look at that, I'm sitting up as tall as I can. Nice, easy breaths here. Then keeping the feet apart, start to push the feet away from you, working to straighten the knees a little bit more, but not letting the chest drop forward. Okay. Holding there, breathing. Oh, yeah. Toes towards your face. Some of you can even straighten your knees more. And let that go. That's a lot of work on the hands as well, and wrists. Oh, yeah. And then release those ankles, those toes, those knees. All right. And let's swing those legs behind us and bring ourselves to all fours. Fingers are spread, palms are placed so nicely on this mat. And as you exhale, round in deeply. And as you inhale, reach. And once again, exhale, round in. There should be a lot more freedom in your body. Inhale, reach. Next time, exhale, right knee, tiger pose. Inhale, reach that leg. Again, same side. Right knee, round in. Inhale, reach. 2 more times. Here comes the last one. Hold it in, really rounding the spine. And then push that leg out. Push it out strong. Try to keep it straight. We're going to take it way over to the left, put it down, then pick it up and take it way over to the right and put it down. Each time, look at it. Pick it up, take it way over to the left, put it down, look at it, pick it up, way over to the right. Oh my God. And we have one more set. You want a really straight leg to do this. And then take it back to center behind you and lengthen out the opposite arm. Hold there, breathing. We're going to make this just a little more challenging. On another exhale, bring elbow and knee to touch if you can, tucking the chin. Inhale, reach. And again, exhale, round in. Inhale, reach. We have 2 more. And here comes the last one. I feel it. And reach it, reach it, reach it. And put your hand down and release the hips, release the wrists, fingers. And before we go any further, go ahead and drop back to an extended child pose, up on fingertips, stretching, really stretching here. And then come back to all fours. All right, here we go. We got another side to do. Let's start out with 3 cat-cows. Really enjoying the moment. That's what life is. It's moment to moment, moments joined together. Here's the 3rd one. Now, the next one, you're going to bring the knee in and then inhale, stretch that leg out. Bring it in, stretch it out. 2 more. Here comes the last one. Hold it in. And then reach it out behind you. Really, really strengthen that leg now. Try to make it feel really strong. And then take it way over to your right, touch it down. Pick it up way over to the left, touch it down. Pick it up. Continue here. So we want this to be a lower body movement. My elbows are moving a little bit, but I'm trying not to move them. And we're on our last set here. And then take it behind you and extend out the opposite arm. Find your breath here, find your strength. And here we go. Exhale, round in, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. 3 more. Here we go. The last one. I'm feeling it. Holding. And then lengthening. Hand down, knee down. Woo. Shake out a little bit. And then this time, lengthen back to a child pose, but rest your arms. Just rest them any way you want. Breathe up and down your spine. So in yoga practices, the Hatha yoga practices, that time between poses could be very long or could be super short or somewhere in between. But that's where you right away learn to let go. That's the true practice. Now we're going to do those 4 prostrations. So activate the belly, and here we go. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, take it down. And again, 3 more on your own. Really try to go slow. That's where you get stronger. That's where you find the nuances. And we have 1 more. And back to all 4s. Ooh, okay. Before we go into our first downward facing dog, we're going to do some of those barrel rolls. Okay. So start to roll your torso, really pick it up and move it as though you're wiping out that almond butter jar, which I did last night with a cut apple. It was so good. And really work all those inner organs, and then other direction. Last time, and right back to center. Now we're not going to just jump to downward dog because that's a really powerful movement doing those rolls. So stack 1 fist on top of the other, and then rest your forehead on that upper fist. Take a few shrugs here. Oh yeah. And breathe up and down the spine again. So directing the breath with the mind, breathing up and down the spine is a really wonderful way to learn to relax. Okay, start to activate the belly. And on an inhale, reach right up onto knees. And on the exhale, settle those palms down. And your next exhale is your downward facing dog. First, see if you can find more or less a full pose, and then start to walk it. And walk it deeply so that you're really experiencing 1 foot, 1 calf, and then the other. You can even be looking at your feet while you're doing this, keeping those toes spread. Now find your pose. Find your pose, broaden the chest. Let your head go. This pose should feel pretty dang good because of everything else we've done so far. 1 more breath. And now listen to my instructions. Inhale to plank. Make any adjustments. Hold and breathe. You know the drill. You could put your knees down or you could stay here. So powerfully strong. Then bend your knees and take it back to downward dog. This time you want your knees to be bent and really tip up the sits bones and really lengthen the spine, and then maybe straighten your knees. Then walk your hands back to your feet, broaden out your feet, and come to a deep squat, or you can come to more of a chair pose above the knees. So I'm doing the deeper squat here, just breathing. Check in with your feet though, make sure you're not dumping your inner arches. Tip the torso, 1 hand each knee, and carefully come up. Yes. 1 step, let's just move a little. Let's move those arms, those fingers, those wrists. You can do whole practices, like I said, in bed. You could do a whole practice just on your back, just on your belly, whole practice standing. you know, you can play with some of those things at your own place. All right. And then stand nice and fully, palms facing forward, anywhere you want on your mat. Feel the sense of groundedness running down through your feet bottoms. That's what we're hoping to achieve here. Then move into that left leg, make it strong. And on an inhale, expand up with the right knee and the arms. And on the exhale, bring that empty foot down, move into it. And then inhale, expand through the left leg and arms. And exhale down. We're going nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale. That exhale is empty until the foot actually touches the floor. That means your weight stays on the other side for a while. The inhale expands. Those of you who have done Qigong or Tai Chi know that concept. It's a very powerful concept for gaining longevity in the body. Seriously, it's amazing. We have just a couple more. Here comes our last one. And then come back to center, standing nice and tall, palms together. Just take a moment. Just take a moment to feel. This is why we love yoga, right? Because we start to get into these layers and layers, and we start to shut down that monkey mind. It's hard to shut down. And then let those arms go. We're going to open our feet a little wider, slight turnout, okay? And we're going to take ourselves to this horse stance, all right? Remember, you're popping your butt back. You're not tucking it under, okay? Arms out in front. Here we go. Looks good. Four more. Last one. Stay right there. Try to even deepen that horse stance a little bit and then open the palms. There's a pose of reception, right? These mudras. And then come back up. Oh, yeah. And let's move a little bit. I needed that. I needed to really clear my lungs better. I actually feel better. Like that was part of what I needed. We have a whole bunch of Palo Verde trees on the property, but they're so beautiful. Okay, tree pose. So we're now progressing here to more groundedness, but more challenge in the groundedness. Where will you be? Floor, mat, wherever you will be, though, your left leg is your standing leg. Take your pose, okay? Take your pose, be the tree. So we know it's been so windy. And when it's really windy, the trees respond. They move with the wind. So if you need to move a little, that's okay. But feel your groundedness through that standing leg. That doesn't mean you're crunching your toes. It means you're expanding energy downwards. Use the breath. We're going to stay a little bit longer, so you can always come out and go back in. And come back down, palms face forward, be the tree, just standing, just witnessing, just witnessing. Okay, so with as much ease and clarity as possible, move to the other side. check in with the standing leg. Make it be that strength, that holding power for the rest of this amazing body. Decide where you want your arms. They could be anywhere. If your monkey mind's been going crazy lately, and whose isn't, you could extend up and try to grab the sides of your ears with your arms. But the face is relaxed. And a little bit longer. This is where that endurance training comes in. A little bit longer. And release. Coming back to standing, both feet, but it's still a balance. Find that inner balance. And then just move around. Hopefully that felt so awesome. It felt really good for me. All right. We're going to come up now to the fronts of our mats. I'm going to stand sideways. We're going to take those palms together. And for just a moment, I want you to imagine whatever beautiful flower is in your environment that you saw recently that's in beautiful bloom. Okay, maybe it's those daffodils, maybe it's all the roses, maybe it's my pomegranate trees. Whatever it is, just imagine that beauty of that flower, bringing beauty into the psyche. And then on an inhale, reach up those arms. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come partway up, stretch. And as you exhale, drop the torso, right leg back. There's our first lunge. Hold this lunge. Try to hold the knee off the mat. Use your breath here. A really nice long lunge here. And we're going to plant the right palm and open up the left chest, the left arm. You can lean into that right palm as much as you need to. Try to keep that back leg straight, though. That's the tricky part. And then come back, okay? From here, we're going to try that side angle pose, okay? So we turn the back foot, place it flat. Come up with left forearm onto left bent knee. If you need to have a look at me, please do. Reach up the right arm. Breathe here. You want to try to sink a little into that left hip. Just a little bit more if you can. And then turn your head and come back to that lunge. And let's step back forward. Take that inhale, partway up, really stretch. And as you exhale, drop to bent knees. And then on the inhale, come all the way up. Build the pose all the way up to the sky and right back to heart. And here we go. Take that inhale and reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Now inhale, come partway up, you're stretching. And then as you exhale, drop the torso, take the left leg back. Here we are, other side. How does it feel? Get into the awareness of it. Try to strengthen it. And then plant your left palm and open up the right. It works better if the left palm is even slightly off the mat to the side to give you more opening. Looking down, turning, coming back to lunge. Turn that back foot, place it flat, take that forearm right onto that knee and push into it a little bit so you get that rebounding effect. And maybe lift the left arm. We're breathing and expanding chest, and then we exhale and sink a little bit more. Turn your head, look down, turn your body back to lunge. Instead of coming forward, though, we're coming to plank pose. Take it back there. You could always go to all fours first. Try the plank, though, even if you're lifting just one knee. Use your breath here, broaden your chest. And then everybody, knees drop down, toes relax as you come back to an extended child pose. Really extend out those arms. And then inhale right up to knees, naga. Exhale to all fours. Next inhale, here it comes, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here, working to find the perfect place for your body. Just working towards it. Then from here, we're going to look forward, bend the knees, and walk our feet forward. Keep knees bent as you come to chair pose. There's our chair. Holding there. Try to really kind of push your butt back like you're looking for that chair. Come up a little bit, Utkatasana, fierce pose. And then we're going to try to come right up onto toes. Do your best. Stretch it up, way up, and back to heart. And back to nice deep breathing. Once again, center yourself at the front of your mat. The beginning of the day, I look at it that way. If I'm on my mat by myself, the beginning of the day at the front of the mat. And then here we go. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Stretch on the inhale, part way up. And this time as you exhale, drop the torso, left leg back, okay? Left leg back, nice long pose here. And we're gonna turn that back foot and place it flat. And this time we're gonna take the left arm and inhale it up and come up with your torso and exhale the warrior 2. Warrior 2, looking out through right fingers, sink in a little deeper. You can check in. You could even take your hands to your hips, just check in with everything. Breathe here. Then inhale, straighten that front knee, facing me with your face, arms up, and then exhale right back to warrior 2. And again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Find that really powerful pose here. It is such a powerful pose. Then put your hands on your hips and straighten that front leg. Right now, make any adjustments for your comfort. We're going to attempt to keep both knees straight. We're moving into triangle. We're going to reach out those arms and glide. So you're sinking that right hip in deeper into the socket and come to your triangle. I want you to really think about the sides of your torso. So you're not dumping that right side, but you're lengthening it and breathing here. You might have little clicks here. Everything's adjusting and realigning. And then come back up. And turn your torso, place your palms, and take it to plank. Oh boy, another plank. Yes, we're doing a lot of planks today for that power, that sense of destagnating the body. Try to hold a little bit longer. And then everybody, knees down. Once again, drop back to an extended child pose. Inhale up to naga, up to knees. Exhale to all fours, and then downward facing dog. Take your time with it. You remember, you don't have to fully straighten the knees. For many people, that's too much on the low back. Okay, from here, we're gonna step this left foot forward. Do your best. Step it forward as best as you can to find that long lunge. Turn the back foot, place it flat, and then listen to my instructions. Take your right arm and start to lift it up. Follow with your torso, and then arrange yourself in warrior 2, other side. And just see if you can go in a little deeper here. Then inhale, straighten the knees, arms come straight up. Exhale, drop in deeper. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale. One last time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, find that amazing pose. Eyes are wide open here. Then start to straighten that front leg and take your time finding your triangle pose. Little bits at a time. One side is often easier than the other, just related to how we tend to hang out in one side differently than the other. And come back up, turn your torso, plant your palms, come back to lunge though. We're not going to go to plank here. So we're in our lunge pose and we're going to step the back foot forward. Take that inhale part way up. And now as you exhale, bend your knees deeply and let your torso and head hang. And if you can, hold your opposite elbows and just kind of let your upper body swing side to side. Let your head really go. Let it go. You can even be pulling those elbows down towards the mat. You could even just stop at center and work to straighten your knees. And then release those elbows, and on an inhale, reverse swan all the way up and hands to heart. Taking several nice deep breaths here. And then let's just move around a little bit. Okay, so that was a bit of a tougher flow. Okay, nothing that we've not ever done before, but putting it together in a certain way that really challenges the center of our body, which is really important for all of us. Okay, we're getting ready for dancer, the Nataraj. So we actually worked on this last week as well. And so remember, you could just stand like this, just working it like this, trying to get as much length, as much reach, as much balance, or you can start to take it into the fuller pose. You choose if you're going to be at a wall, if you're going to have the back of a chair, if you're going to attempt to do it on your mat, however you want, get in place, and it'll be your left leg is your standing leg. Okay, we're going to hold this pose for a bit of time. So that means if you need to come out, please do. Don't rush this pose. See if you can really taste this pose. See if you can take your time with this pose. So we can be in a challenge, but we can find the quietness right in the center of it. And we have just 3 more breaths. And try to come out slowly. Very nice. Try to come out in a sense of ease, like you've got this. And just stand, just stand. Samastiti. Let the breath emerge first. And then you can start to move around, okay? So when we hold some of these more challenging poses longer, that's the resilience building. That's the place. You can only work on your breath here, okay? So focus on your breath is what I mean. Okay, let's go to the other side. Other side. What's it going to teach me today? Wait for your body to give you the signals. And I'm really talking about the body, not the mind. The mind will fool you. Three more breaths. And try to come out slowly. Coming right back to sama, evenness, the same. Let the breath really deepen. And then move around. That was great. That was really good. Oh yeah. Okay. So with some of you, the way your cameras are facing, I could just see like a leg coming up. I could see an arm going up. It's pretty cool. Okay. We're going to come to standing with feet nice and wide. Okay. And slightly turned out and then drop in. Hands on hips. And we're going to start to do those circles. Yeah. Start small because I want you to feel that sense of controlling it through this belly area. Okay. And when I say belly area, that's also the back of the belly is the sacrum. Then start to go larger. See if you can relax your head. If you run into those square or triangular places, that's okay. Just breathe into it. Never sharp pain. And then come back up. Just take a moment. We'll sink back in. Start the other side, small at first. Sometimes if I've had one of those days where I'm on my feet a lot, I'm doing so many things, I'll do these before I get in bed. I'll do these just to relax the whole hip area and go larger if you can. And then come back up. And we'll move those legs in and we'll just kind of roll those shoulders back a little bit. Okay, so what we're getting ready to do is we're getting ready to do a sense of a sun salutation, but after the downward dog, we're going to move into pigeon. Okay, so after the downward dog, I'm going to have you lift your right leg and then swing your knee in for pigeon. Some of you may want to have your chair handy, and you could even do the salutation like this, where you use the chair and you come back and then you come back and then you come in and you do the pigeon. Okay, so I want you to find your place with this. Okay. And if you need a rolled blanket or a block nearby, please grab it. And we'll come up to the fronts of our mats. And we'll take our palms together. And not rushing here at all, but instead examining, being the witness to ourselves, just checking in. And take an inhale and lift up so tall. And as you exhale, forward fold. Now inhale, come part way up. And as you exhale, drop the torso, right leg back. Hold here for a moment, nice deep breaths. Then take your left leg back. Hold this pose, take your time. You could always put knees down, right? But we want to get right into the navel here, navel space. Then everybody bend your knees and start to work yourself into a downward dog. That means you can walk your feet a little more forward if you need to. Bring your feet closer to each other and lift your right leg. If you want to, bend your knee and open the hip for a moment or two, because we're getting ready now to take a bent right knee and swing it through and put it down to the mat or go to your chair, and then start to adjust yourself for pigeon pose. Remember, you want your hips even if they're off the mat, okay? That means you would use a blanket if you needed to. And you could do an upright pigeon for a while or start to come down and breathe into this amazing body and just notice where you want to tense up. Try to really relax your face, your neck, your shoulders. And then bring your upper body up, really lengthen that pigeon, curl back toes under, and bring yourself back to downward dog, right leg lifted. And let's put that leg down. Find that dog pose. Nice deep breaths here. We're going to take it to plank. Inhale to plank. Breathe into plank. Then bend those knees and take it back to downward facing dog. Adjusting your legs again so that the feet are closer together. Lift up your left leg. If you want to go deeper, bend the knee and open the hip, letting the head go. Now everybody bend that knee and swing it through and put it down. Adjust yourself to coming to your pigeon pose. You might choose to stay upright for much longer. See what the body wants. Or bring it into the sleeping pigeon, resting pigeon, and you're breathing at that back door of your heart. Just one more breath. And then come back up to that upright pigeon. Oh yeah. Curl back toes under. Take yourself back to that one-legged downward dog. And then put both legs down. Now listen to my instructions. We're going to step the left foot forward. Do your best. There's that lunge. Other side though. And then step the right foot forward. Inhale, part way up. Exhale, drop the torso, bend the knees deeply, and come up to chair pose. Come part way up and open that chest, and then stand nice and tall. Palms together at heart center. And we'll once again move around a little bit. Okay, move around. It might be a pose if the pose feels good for you, the pigeon pose, or modifying it in different ways. It might be a pose you practice a little bit more this week because it's a great pose for really going inside of yourself. All right. So now we're going to take the standing half moon balance, okay? And you can use the chair, which I'll demo with. The chair, you have to, if you're using the chair, you're standing with your toes facing the chair, and then you put your forearm down onto the chair seat, and you can see how I found the pose. It's a great way to really learn this pose. Or you might use the wall, right? Or you might say, heck, I'm going to work just on my mat. I've got this, okay? So you can choose either side. Okay, you can have a block if you need to really press the palm down. What do you want? And we're going to find our poses now. We're going to stay for a while again. And so that means you can come in and out if you need to. You really want to find the strength of stability here, meaning your standing leg. It doesn't have to be totally straight. It could be slightly bent at the knee, but you want to find that stability before you build all the other pieces here. You want to try to open your chest. You want to spread through toes and fingers. And now take 3 more breaths. I know if you've come out, come back in if you can, or just wait. And I'm looking out my door window right now, and I'm seeing the really beautiful Palo Verde with the yellow flowers. And then here we go. Come out softly and easily all the way up to standing. You could close your eyes if that feels good, or have the drishti forward and down. Several nice deep breaths. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be, just right here, right now. And then let's go to the other side. All right. Take your time with it. Maybe this side is the chair side. Maybe this side is the block. Remember, they don't have to be exactly the same. Try to slow your breath down the longer exhale. This pose is said to balance all the chakras in the body, all the energy centers. 3 more breaths. That's the hardest part. And when you get to that last breath, start to come out slowly. You want to take your time. You want to build the pose from the feet up. And just stand again. Just stand. Welcome in the breath. Welcome in how the energy is moving through the body. I feel it. And then move a little bit. Okay. We're going to end this standing section with a deep squat. And I want to give you another idea for how you could do a deep squat. Okay. So I know that squatting can be challenging for people. So I'm going to put the chair with the back of it facing me on my mat. And I just want you to watch a moment. I widen up quite a bit. Okay. And it has to do with the way your bone structure is. There's a lot of reasons why you might be able to squat differently than somebody else. I turn out also to really open the hips. And so you could use the chair and see how I'm pushing my butt back. And then you could use maybe the seat. And then maybe you could even use the legs to drop in deeper, okay? Or you could drop in deep and have the arms up high like this. So consider that you could use a chair to give you a little more balance, all right? So we're all gonna find a deep squat if you can. Remember, knees are so important, don't hurt them in this class, okay? So your squat could be like this, like I'm showing right here. Or if you're able to, come down deeper. Yeah, yeah. Nice. I love it. I love the use of different props. Now, if you're able to lift all your toes and spread them and then put them back down, I know that's so hard. Then tip the upper body forward, hands on knees, come back up. Gotta love this body. It's been with us a long time, right? And move a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna move my chair out of the way. And now bring yourselves down, all the way down to sitting again. Oh yeah. And once again, we are going to do another reverse plank or a table pose. So find what you're going to use. And here we go. 3 breaths. And come back down. Go ahead and just lean forward, just breathing. And then hanging on to knees, tucking chin, round yourselves all the way down to the mat. Oh, doesn't that feel good? That feels so good. And let's hug those knees in, but super wide. And let's just rock side to side. If you can let that head feel so heavy here, you will have some really good neck releases. And then come back to center. Plant your feet down, getting ready for 3 bridge poses, okay? So you decide how close in you want your feet, how wide you want your feet, okay? And go ahead and on an inhale, come up to bridge, hold your breath a moment. exhale, back down. Once again, inhale, focus on heels a little bit more, hold your breath. Exhale, back down. Oh yeah. This last one in this set, you're going to hold up their breathing. So find your pose. I like to clasp underneath and really roll my shoulders under me, but see what feels good for you. Of course, there's tension in the throat. This pose is about the thyroid, the parathyroids. This pose is also about calcium uptake. Releasing and coming back down. Hug in those knees. This time, knees and ankles together, and we're going to do some little circles. And then other direction. All right. You can put a block between your knees because we're going to be going into our side revolve belly pose, but see what feels good for you. And here we go. On an exhale, knees drop to your left, head to the right. If you don't have a block, you can always just keep your knees apart a little bit, or sometimes they'll stay together, right? Try to drop the right shoulder down. Head is heavy. Some of you like to advance by straightening your knees and holding the toes with your left hand. And if you've done that, bend your knees again and inhale back to center. Hold for a moment. While we're holding here, press your legs straight up. Push your heels away from you, toes towards your face. Then bend those knees again, and here we go, other side. Exhale, knees to the right, head to the left. This side's a little tighter for me, the left hip, so I'm slightly opening my knees. I'm always checking in and always doing realignments in order to stay healthy in the body. And if you want to, go ahead and advance. And if you've advanced, bend the knees and come back to center. Once back to center, push those legs straight up again. Push the heels away from you, toes towards your face. Nice, easy breaths here. Then keeping the legs straight up, take your hands behind your head and clasp, and let your heavy head just hang out there. Elbows open wide. Now, bend the left knee in and start to lower the right leg. If you're able to, keep it just above the floor, about 3 inches. If that's too much on your back, put it down. Take an inhale. Exhale, right elbow, left knee, tuck your chin. Inhale back. 4 more. Hold the 4th one. Hold it. Sips of breath. Come back. Both legs straight up again. Oh yeah. Try to keep your heavy head in your hands. And many of you can bring your elbows all the way to the floor and stretch up those heels, toes towards your face. Okay, bend the right knee in. Oh yeah. And start to lower the left leg. You decide where it's going. Okay. On the exhale, left elbow, right knee, chin tucked. Inhale back. 4 more. We're coming into the 4th one. Hold. And come back. Both legs straight up again. Oh my gosh. Stretch the back of your neck by slightly lifting your head just an inch and stretching it away a little bit. And then put your heavy head down, remove your hands, bend your knees in, hands to knees, and let's do some circles again. So I want you to ask yourself, is there something we did not get to that you really would love to do right now that your body is saying, yes, I need that, okay? It could be anything. Some of you might be doing wheel poses or another bridge. It could be a shoulder stand. It could be legs up the wall. It could be legs on your chair, okay? So it could be a variety of things. I want you to kind of consider that. It also could be a much longer, yummier Shavasana. So what will it be for you? Remember what I said earlier, we in this crazy world have not valued the beauty of relaxing. So find what would feel good for you right now. You're going to have about a minute and a half in whatever pose that is. I've decided to put my block under my sacrum and bring my legs straight up. I could also do it at a wall and then roll my shoulders under. Why? Because this is really good for lymphatic release. And we're still in that kind of spring cleanse time where you want the lymphatics to really release toxins. Got about 45 more seconds. Start to ask yourself, what would be a really nice Shavasana pose for you? You could come off of everything you're on. You could lay just flat. You could put your legs up on a chair, legs at the wall. What would be good for you? And go ahead and start to release whatever pose you chose and take your time coming to that final relaxation. You've heard me say before, the beauty of doing yoga in your own space, like you all are, is that you can say, oh, I'm going to go get that bolster out of the other room. I'm going to grab a blanket and make a thick roll and put it under my knees. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever it is, it's like so cool. You can't do that in a yoga studio. So then start to bring yourself into whatever rendition of that pose of Shavasana, that final relaxation. It's actually the final rest. And allow a few exhales to just release. And feel those parts of the back of your body that so easily are touching down to the mat, to the floor, to the earth. And let them touch down a little deeper. Just let them go. Just let them go. Your legs, your hips, parts of your spine. Just letting go. Allowing ourselves to rest in the earth, because the earth is our truth. The earth is our nurturance. The earth in many ways is that sense of family and brings us all together. And let your eyes relax. And from this place, let these words come into your body. I pledge allegiance to the earth and to the flora, fauna, and human life that it supports. One planet, indivisible, with safe air, water, and soil, economic justice, equal rights, and peace for all. I pledge allegiance to the family of Earth. And now, so easily, ever so easily, start to come out of that pose that you took, knowing you can always go back there today, anytime you want, stretching a little, moving a little, lengthening, and making your way to sitting back upright. I consider all of you to be my family of Earth. We all have a difference of opinions, and that's beautiful, actually, and that's okay. But we all come together in the Sangha, and that's necessary. So let's take our palms together, but then space open your palms, keeping the fingers touching. The dove mudra, kapota. Kapota is the special dove inside at our own heart space. And breathe into your dove, holding that gentle self. And know that today we have done good work together, and it will reach out to the earth and to all of humanity in some way. I know it will. And we'll take an exhale and an inhale. Om Shanti, Om Peace. Namaste. Namaste to each and every